Babe, you're having a bad dream.
Jeff, you're having a bad dream.
No, I'm not. You broke my arm.
Ugh, Odalia.
Buff this.
Okay, time to roast a character who actually deserves it. The Jerry apology video will be out in about 2 weeks, maybe a little longer, but like winter, it is coming, I assure you. Hi, I'm Kitty Monk, I'm here to talk to you about the Owl House, or more specifically, Odalia Blight. Y'all are invited to a barbecue. Bring your special sauce, your hush puppies, and your fried pickles. It's time for a roast! Yay! By this point on YouTube, you probably know that if I'm not ranting about ships, I'm ranting about terrible parents and caregivers. There's Dagmar, Alador, Zog, Leanne, Camilla, Jerry, Stella, Stolas, Linda, Sheila, Moon, Glosseric, Bellows, Gwen! And those are just the ones I can name off the top of my head. And I have to ask, why? Why do I do it? For real, I'm just as curious as you. I don't know, maybe they're just easier to talk about. I guess I've always figured because most of the shows I review discuss family dynamics or interpersonal relationships that bad parents are a must. And nowadays, a cornerstone of cartoons, for better or for worse, are toxic dynamics. Do I have Freudian type issues? Am I just looking at a greater trend? Money and views, who cares? The Owl House is no exception. The show is all about caregivers and the effect they can have on their wards or offspring. Episode 1 was kicked into high gear because Camilla was at her wit's end with Luce. While she understood her daughter, she tried to break it down to Luce that she had to somewhat stop what she was doing because she was legitimately causing destruction.
Oh, that's where the backup snakes were.
And what were you going to do with this?
That was for the Act 3 closer.
Meanwhile, part of Lilypad's issue with Ida was because of factors like the curse, Ida's young age, and Lilypad herself being mature, their mother, Gwen, did not pay any meaningful attention to her.
Hello to you too, sweet flea. Oh, still dyeing your hair, I see. Well, it's very sleek. Now, give me a moment with Edelin, dear. It's important.
Then there's Bellows, who despite looking like the burger of the day, pretty much treats Hunter like a stray pet. And like Jerry, he will rub Hunter's face in urine if he ever has an accident.
Well, the Titan has big plans for you, and it would be such a hassle to find a replacement.
For most of these parents, either we know where they're coming from, so they have a tiny ounce of sympathy, or it helps to give them real-world implications. So while we might not necessarily like them as people, we like them as characters. But nobody compares to Odalia Blight, and I mean nobody. She sucks rotten cow behind with a straw, and she would if it got her far in this world.
Doesn't this remind you of that ballroom skit on the Muppet Show when they used to dance around and tell jokes?
Yeah, except I'm going to kill you.
Which? More like bitch. She is worse than Bellows, a man who has spent centuries advocating for the depths of millions. They totally compare. Odalia, in a nutshell, is pretty much who Haley would be if she followed in Stan's lead. Wore dark eyeliner and quit screwing around. Stan was right to shave your head, Missy May. You did look like a wad of money on the way to the booby bar. Maybe if you just took the wig like you were supposed to and married Dill Shepherd, I wouldn't have to make a video on you. Besides, he's right. You look great when you wear makeup. Really brings the evil out. So, let's discuss. Odalia Blight, as her name implies, is the mother of Amity Blight and her siblings. Mostly only Amity, because outside of like 2 seconds, she seriously never seems to interact with the Blight twins, beyond grounding them.
Edric, Emera! Don't worry, they'll just be grounded. With maximum security.
She's like Steven's touch. And despite having a body that would make Kim Kardashian jealous, Odalia is an awful specimen of a being, and she deserves to get flayed alive and displayed as a fancy rug. It seems what she lacks in goodness, she makes up for in thighs. Good thing I have thighs that would make you stumble. Sucks having to buy pants, but it's great for roasts. I can hold a laptop on these things. Odalia runs Blight Industries, which, per Alador,
We make a variety of abomination-based accessories for home security, but we specialize in weaponry.
basically it's like Apple meets ADT, but with abominations. And Odalia is the Steve Jobs of the company. Despite being in the Oracle Coven, somebody should report her failings. Odalia is married to Alador Blight, who I cannot say is bad anymore because he got character development, though I might have to say what led to this. Regardless, he is not Jerry 2.0, nor is he Linda Stotch's brother. He is Alador. In a nutshell, Odalia and Alador are like Beth and Jerry. To some degree. I hate to say it, but it's true. Like, I know they aren't two heads on the same Hydra, and it's hella complicated, but I could totally see these two going to Nuptia 5 and this being their marriage. Plus, they did act out something similar in Clouds on the Horizon. So there is precedence. The pair apparently knew each other as children, and to some degree, she knew Ida. Okay, this I've always wondered. I assume their relationship, at least back then, was somewhat similar to Luce's relationship with Basha, if Luce actually stood up to her the same way Amity did. Frenemies, but more enemies than friends, because Kid Ida takes sass from nobody. However, I've always had questions about her and Alador, since I doubt the show will elaborate on it. Was Odalia somebody who was born and raised evil, kinda like Stella? Did she love Alador, but got corrupted by the fame and fortune his abominations brought? Or did she purposefully seek him out to use as a meal ticket? Because we see that Darius abhors Alador in present day.
So get that ugly thing out of my face. And tell Alador he's a hack while you're at it.
Well, I think Darius knows how the Blights treat Amity, and that's part of why he hates them. Maybe he also holds Odalia responsible for ruining their friendship, or something more than a friendship, which is always a possibility. I don't know, but for the sake of the video, when Odalia was born, taffy tasted like slime, and all the ice cream on the boiling aisles, all of it, every drop, melted into the streets. Her mother was a jackal, and her father was a used car salesman. When she grew up, instead of doing something appropriate with her time, like helping out the kids next door, she mentored under Eris, the goddess of discord and chaos. Her actions were so harsh and so drastic that she did what only one other person has ever done: cause chaos so extreme it terrified the goddess herself. This was mostly because her father subjected her to a CIA sleeper program when she was still in 2nd grade. I don't know how in the hell he managed to do that when she grew up on the boiling aisles, but anything is possible. When she got to high school, she met a dude who lived in a van and wore a white hat, and his name was Alador Blight. After graduation, the two married and eventually had a family: the Lost Twins, Edric and Emera, and the Golden Child, Amity. At least I assume this all happened. Probably not, but all things considered, is it really that far-fetched? Now, something I've appreciated about stuff like Encanto and the Owl House is they show that the Golden Child isn't all it's cracked up to be. True, your parents pay the most attention to you, and depending on the parent, you can get away with a lot. However, being the Golden Child doesn't always mean you end up a spoiled brat or permanently living on grandma's couch. At the end of the day, that abusive parent is still an abusive parent. The attention they give you is the attention you might not want, and they can take it away in an instant. Odalia, much like White Diamond, seems to believe children are these little dolls who obey your every command and can be ordered around and customized to your liking. Think of that Pokemon episode with Sabrina, but Sabrina swapped with the other mother from Coraline. Nobody gets this treatment worse than Amity.
Just because you work with their parents doesn't mean I have to like them.
Good children don't squabble, dear.
It's a good thing you're rich, Odalia, and live in another dimension, because otherwise you'd be getting a visit from CPS. She projects her wants and desires onto Amity so hard you swear she was having a lifelong midlife crisis. No joke, Amity was wearing eyeliner at 5 years old. Odalia, reality TV moms look at you and they're telling you to stop. You would be the type to pawn your children off to TLC or MTV and act shocked when they hit rock rock bottom and your show gets canceled. Oh, I don't know what could have possibly happened. Don't lie. The biggest sticking point is, as heiress to the Blight family name, Amity must present herself in the manner that befits a Blight. And that means a lion doesn't consort with the sheep, even if the sheep are decent people otherwise. As a child, Amity had a friendship with Willow. However, because Willow was weak, she was a child who had yet to attend school, and debatably because she was poor, Odalia decided that Willow and Amity couldn't be friends.
What is Willow doing here? She wasn't on the guest list for a reason.
But she's my best friend.
Alador, for his part, seemed to agree with this assessment, because look at this flashback.
Nonsense. Blights only associate with the strongest of witchlings. You may choose a new friend from one of the suitable companions we invited.
I still think they were gonna make him Preston Northwest 2.0, but you could always hand-wave it as, it's Amity's memories, and the Owl House is big on showing that memories can and will be altered. They told Amity that if she didn't break things off with Willow, they would make sure that Willow wouldn't make it in life.
Sever your ties with Willow, and if you don't,
Then we will.
we'll make sure the girl is never admitted into Hexside.
Ew, they're just kids. That's a lot to put on them. Was Willow in a biker gang? Or kicking puppies? Or selling smack to the kids at the playground? No, because she was 5. But the friendship was severed. And as expected, Odalia's abuse of Amity did not end. In exchange for breaking things off with Willow, Amity got 2 new friends, Heather Chandler and Karen, aka Basha and Skara. And worse yet, they were mean.
They're mean.
In flashbacks, I see you noticed Amity has brown hair, not green. Well, you have Odalia to thank for that. Like I said, Odalia gives Sheila Broflovsky and Alma Madrigal a run for their money in how much control she exerts over her children. Because she wants Amity to be color coordinated with her siblings, Dana Terrace's words not mine, she forces her to dye her hair green.
Hey, your roots are growing out. Do you want to dye your hair again?
With how much you butt into your kids' lives, I'm surprised you don't make Amity wear her hair like you Morgan Proctor knockoff. You're willing to go that far. Not only that, but Odalia pre-decided from Amity's birth that she would make the family proud by joining the Emperor's Coven. And like any proud show dog owner, she displays her daughter in public for all to see. Wow, cool necklace, Amity. The terrible implications. It turns out, so Amity will behave even when they're apart, she gave Amity an effective tracking device. Oh, and like the eyeliner, she's even had that as a child. Makes one wonder about the implications because I doubt Odalia is the only emotionally abusive parent in Bonesboro. Oh, and she does it in front of people.
Take this as a lesson, Mittens. A Blight always upholds their end of the deal.
Makes sense. I've heard some abusers do this as a sort of frill, and others just don't give a damn. Which brings us up to escaping expulsion.
Welcome, valued investors, to our annual Blight Industries private sale.
You know somebody is evil when they only apply lipstick to one lip. Except for Eclipsa, she's cool. The only thing I will give her is she has the public speaking skills I wish I could obtain.
If you're interested in reliable home security, we're here to help. And if you've got an enemy or two, well, who are we to judge?
I used to be so good at it, and then current events happened. Now I get all nervous whenever I present something or talk to authority figures. Amity is presenting a new product for Blight Industries, the Abomaton. Because why would Odalia want to get abomination goo all over her pretty white vest, filled with, I don't even know what those things are. Are they crystal balls? Circles? Pizzas without the sauce? The wiki says they're orbs. Whatever they are, your vest is stupid. Also,
Mama to Mittens, remember our deal? Make this look good and we'll forgive your recent lackluster performance in school.
Yes, Mom.
What, did Amity go from a 4.1 to a 4.0? How terrible. What if it goes lower? Are you gonna starve her? Every point she goes down is one meal she misses. Amity, to get the plot rolling.
How will I ever escape? Huh?
Okay, I say this all the time, and I know this video is more about Odalia, but Amity, why would you leave your photo there of all places? Especially since you know how your mama can be. Why not leave it in your room? Or is Odalia one of those moms who insists you leave the door open and unlocked? Because privacy is apparently a privilege, like not going to bed hungry. Odalia doesn't like the fact Amity cost them a fudge load of money, which isn't the point, and decides it's because Amity is expanding her circle and making friends.
What's with you lately? I see. Looks like our precious Mittens has been getting distracted.
How dare she grow as a person? I'm super shocked she didn't question what happened to Amity's pre-approved friends, or at least force her to go back to hanging out with them. Seriously, Understanding Willow made a big deal about that. It's like they totally forgot this used to happen. I should make a Basha video in the future. Now, I think it's obvious to everybody that Odalia is a Karen, and the worst type of Karen. Karen who actually has money. To make matters worse, she's a school Karen, and the head of Hexide's PTA. Well, it's the PCA, but the naming makes zero sense, outside of a cool pun.
We are the Parent Creature Association.
And she uses her authority as head of the I'm not saying it to get Gus, Willow, and Luce executed.
I mean expelled.
Oh, thank you, Alador. Why do I always forget this outside of a running gag? And she takes her husband along with her and forces Amity to watch, to teach her a lesson.
I have no choice in the matter. Luce, Willow, Augustus, effective immediately, you are no longer students of Hexide.
No! Now, while I love this episode, I have to ask, why are Gus and Willow here? I really hate to say it because I feel like Season 2A massively sidetracked them. But the two have no reason to be in the episode. True, they are Amity's friends, but most of Odalia's complaints are directed at Luce.
The abomination situation, the destruction of detention, the rampage of Grom.
As outside of Willow cheating in Professor Buttmunch's class, Luce was the one who caused all those problems. And on top of that, Luce is a human and the foster daughter of a known wanted criminal and her criminal sister. It would make more sense if Odalia brought all of this up and then had Bump expel only Luce. The whole reason this is happening is to teach Amity a lesson.
We're just trying to teach our daughter a valuable lesson in business.
Which, and what better reason from Odalia's perspective than better get that GPA up, or I might expel another friend next. Maybe that half-a-witch girl, or Perry's kid. Odalia could have said, if you don't expel that human, I'll tell the Emperor. I'm sure he's dying to know about the Owl Lady. This would have made more sense why Bump didn't disobey Odalia, because him threatening the kids, all things considered, was so weird. I bring this up because I remember when I first saw Understanding Willow, I thought Odalia threatening to kick Willow out of Hexide was an idle threat. We've seen that Bump has no problem bending the rules if that person honestly wants to learn. It's in character for him to let Willow into school despite Odalia pressuring him. On top of that, she made the threat to Amity, who at the time was a child. I mean, when I was a kid, my parents told me that if I didn't stop misbehaving, Randall from Monsters Inc. would come and get me. Obviously nowadays, I think he's awesome because he's voiced by Steve Buscemi. As a kid, I would always shut up. But no, she meant what she said. And 10-ish years later, she succeeded. Odalia, Karma's gonna get you with the Kodak disc. Ooh.
Good. Now, you'll be taking double the classes to make up for lost time. Actually, I'm appalled that you're not in class right now. What are you thinking?
And don't pull your daughter out of classes you claim she's failing. Did you ever think of that? And then there's Alador, right there, not doing anything, just mouthpiecing and staring off into space.
So, the PCA has decided...
Oh, right.
Next scene. The Blights, their work done, decide to go celebrate, probably by drowning kittens in a river, and posting a rant on social media. Luce stands up to them, or more specifically, Odalia, because Alador is off chasing butterflies. Odalia tells Luce that if she wants to work out a deal, she can go to Blight Manor.
If you're interested in talking things through, I'm sure we can come to some sort of an agreement.
Ugh. Of course you carry a business card with you at all times, snob. Several failed attempts back to school later, Luce journeys to Amity's house. Look at this terrible house. Driving up the market, it's so tacky. That stupid painting is making my eyes bleed. And that stupid hill, overlooking us peasants. I bet the commute is wonderful. And those stupid abominations you employ as servants. Cost-effective though, I will say. But do they ever get a day off or a holiday? Do you even know the meaning of those words? Luce goes downstairs, where she gets a face full of goo.
Oh, don't mind him, dear. He's getting ready for our big demonstration tonight. It's looking good, hon!
Do you say that in the bedroom? Odalia tells Luz that she could let her and her friends back into school if she did a favor.
Normally, Amity helps us with these things, but she's busy catching up on schoolwork.
Odalia, I have Chris Hansen on speed dial.
I'll help you show off your weird abomination gunk if you promise to let me and my friends back into school.
Don't worry, human. A Blight always upholds their end of the deal.
I don't know which is worse. Like a manipulative witch, Odalia gets Luz to act as their crash test dummy, and none of the investors seem to care that Luz is literally getting the crap beaten out of her on stage. I bet Basha and Scar's parents are there too. A few hours later, it's almost over, don't worry. There's only one more invention.
My husband has been toiling away to bring you the Abomaton 2.0!
Oh, now you can add plagiarism to the list with that Thanos knockoff. That is not fair use.
The Abomaton 2.0 is the perfect soldier. It won't rest until its enemy is completely eliminated.
And she really means that, because she means for Luz to become at the bottom of Thanos Aton 2.0's shoe.
I think the crowd gets it.
She has a point, Odalia.
Didn't you hear me? It won't rest until its enemy is completely eliminated.
See, Alador is finally talking. What good that did. Totally. Back at the ranch, Amity finds a note with an eerie warning.
Found a replacement? Did anyone come to the house today?
Makes me wonder if by Amity's scowl, this has happened before. She rallies up Gus and Willow, who do so much in this episode.
We're running out of time. Let me try this. Get in there now.
Here's an idea. Why don't you just walk through the front?
Amity, wait!
I love these guys, but seriously, just go home, sit down, and drink something. You deserve some R&R. Just as Luz is about to be deaded, suddenly...
Hey! Stay away from my loot!
Odalia tries to mother the only way she knows how.
Amity Blight, you are in so much
Actions speak louder than words, honey. Amity stands up to her mama, specifically her mama, and tells her, only her, that if she doesn't stand down, she'll destroy the abomination and make them look bad.
Can you actually do that? Shh.
This is absurd! This is hard!
Making a narcissist look bad in public? The horror. Odalia must be hurting inside. So she does as told.
As if I'd actually let them go back. I'll make sure they can't—
Odalia, you made a deal with your daughter, and a Blight always upholds their end of the deal.
Right shit, Alador.
She's getting stronger. Strong enough to become a Covenhead someday.
You go, dude. You are perfect. You are totally not enabling her because this is you. Free character development. And you clearly don't only care because Amity is getting stronger. Not because you almost killed a defenseless kid and almost ruined the lives of 2 others. You are awesome sauce. Now, originally, I did not think much of Odalia. I thought because her voice actress was so high profile that she was only gonna get 1 or 2 episodes. She served her purpose. Talk about something that happens all too often in real life. Give Rachel McFarlane a paycheck and Amity some much needed character development and be somebody for everybody to hate. Same kinda went for Alador. That's why I thought it was alright to make all those videos about him. But then we got the ending. Despite the hiccup of attempted child murder, the Blights actually managed to make a fudge load of money. Or so it seems.
Your abomatons are quite extraordinary. Too bad no one will be receiving them.
Hunter shows up and tells the Blights that because they attempted technological progress, they will only make abominations for the Emperor from now on.
We're honored to have—
You should be. Emperor Bellows doesn't take kindly to citizens making a private army.
Be lucky you're on the Boiling Isles. In Attack on Titan, they'd kill you. Once again, after this episode, I did not expect Odalia outside of mentions or a cameo. She did her job, that was that. However, other things happened. This episode gave Amity courage and got her to come out of her shell. She ended up dyeing her hair purple, the color of an abomination, and cut it short, even if it's against her mom's wishes.
How's it look?
Looks like you're about to get in big trouble with Mom. Ow.
I think it looks great. But yeah, maybe don't tell her I helped.
Wish we got to see her reaction to this, because after she does this, Amity doesn't appear in the next episode. They imply it's because she was embarrassed from kissing Luce, but it also could have been because Odalia wasn't happy and kept her home. No daughter of hers will adopt a palisman, much like adopting a stray dog from the pound. And likely because of what happened to Ida and Luce, Amity no longer wants to join a coven.
I don't even want to join a coven anymore.
This leads into the episode Reaching Out, where she disobeys Alador and participates in the Bonesboro Brawl, instead of going to Emperor's Coven tryouts. And she even knew a loophole for the Atopodent Alador tried to stick her with.
Abomination, fetch me a, rare and difficult to find emerald dagger from the night market.
Yes, he wasn't a perfect soldier, right, Odalia? When Alador is initially angered at this, the two have a heart-to-heart, and he is able to better understand things and accept her choices.
Finally, someone gets it. Can you tell Mom that?
I'll talk to her.
It's a start.
Yay, handshakes! Despite this, I still thought we wouldn't get anything from Odalia. Escaping expulsion was more about Amity standing up to her mother. It was only logical she got a moment to stand up to her father, who did nothing wrong, totally. That takes us to Clouds on the Horizon. With my Alador videos, there was a long-running theme that he does not deserve sympathy from fans. From what was initially presented, this is very important, he was an enabler who let his wife helicopter parent their kids, while he stared off into the distance, which are lies. He did none of the things I am accusing him of. Turns out there's a reason for this. Kinda like Amity, Odalia has hung threats over his head, like the sword of Damocles.
Blights always uphold their end of the deal, dear. Or should I reconsider ours? It might be time for the kids to play a more active role. I could start the paperwork right now.
Oh, so he actually cares about his kids. That's good to know. And on top of that, she makes Alador work night and day, Saturday and Sunday.
Did I mention I haven't had a weekend off in 5 years?
While she sits on her big butt and watches him.
It's looking good, hon!
Yeah, you're helping so much. I'm sure he's so motivated. Even when he was sick, he still had to work.
While I was recovering from the fire flu, she fired half my team and expected us to continue working at the same time.
You know, I got sick with the current events plague during August. I called it throat herpes. And I was so sick, I could barely sleep or eat. I couldn't even edit or write a script for like 10 days. I couldn't imagine having to work with abominations while also being as sick as a dog.
Oh, sorry. Fire flu side effects,
Oh, and he's got the long fire flu. Good going, Odalia. Turns out that even people in universe hate Odalia.
Oh, if only there was a way to show Belos your true worth.
If only there was a way to show Belos Let's get out of here.
Oh, so it sucks when people snark back at you, right, Kiki? I know this is an Odalia hate video, but what the hell are you wearing? Go change, now. Odalia catches Amity and her siblings sneaking around, and she is not happy.
Hiding behind trash, Amity. To think my children are so painfully predictable in their deceit.
Would you rather they hide behind a bush? That seems the most proper. But hey, at least you're acknowledging you have other children, so all 3 of them are grounded. However, the Scooby Gang manages to free them, so they can go stop the Day of Unity, while Odalia goes to work wooing Kiki Mora.
I've got that little gremlin on the hook. She'll be a perfect test subject for our new product.
Which I don't even know why, all things considered. She's a delivery driver at this point, and there's only one more shipment. Like, what's the point besides massaging her own ego?
It looks empty. And really sad.
Holy crap! She turned Alador into a rat!
Oh, and was that the last of it?
Wait, he's perfectly fine? What the hell was that? Anyhow, she goes to work wowing Kiki.
Introducing the Abomatron. It's 700 horsepower, has 2 fairy-powered jetpacks, and comes in several shades of lilac.
You know, if I had the money, I would totally buy one. Unfortunately, the Scooby Gang is caught and apprehended by Kiki Mora.
I thought I recognize that annoying voice.
Odalia didn't even recognize Amity. You, some mother you are. Alador did back during the brawl. They're handcuffed and put behind a force field, while the twins are not just grounded, but maximum security grounded. I bet Steven wishes he could do this to Butters. Odalia doesn't love that Amity is actually thinking for herself and developing an identity.
Really, Mittens, I'm tired of all this drama. Sneaking around in little disguises, convincing the twins to act out.
Seems like you don't even watch your kids if you think Amity is the one who corrupted them. Unless they're named Amity, do you just give up on them after they get evicted from your uterus? Just say, happy travels, hope you survive to 21? And worse yet, to Odalia's horror, Amity is still hanging out with that human, but not Willow.
Don't you talk to my girlfriend like that!
Oh, no, that won't do. We'll find you a new girlfriend, someone who's not on wanted posters everywhere.
Okay, this doesn't surprise me. In the flashback, she didn't like Willow because she was weak, not because she had two fathers. Plus, Dana Terrace has said that this type of hatred doesn't exist on the Boiling Isles.
Ugh, really? You're embarrassing yourself.
Whoa. Not even Beth is that cold. Elsewhere, Alador has learned from King that the Day of Unity will kill all of which kind, so he frees the kids to tell Odalia the truth and set things straight.
The Emperor is planning to wipe out everyone, and our abomatons are helping him do it. You already knew?
What he does with our products is none of our business.
Oh, maybe that's her way of rationalizing things, or how she sleeps at night.
My business is keeping our family ahead of the rest.
Come again.
You're welcome, everyone.
Come again.
This is why I don't tell you things.
Excuse me?
We'll live like royalty in the new world, crowns and everything.
Damn, you're willing to sell out your entire species and you were perfectly fine keeping that from your family? You only told them then and there because they forced your hand, and you didn't even tell your eldest kids. So once again, damn! But wait. Why would Bellows tell her? I want more insight on this. She isn't a coven head or somebody like Lilypad or Kiki. Did she get suspicious so he eventually said that to placate her? Or did he personally reach out to her afterwards? And why would he tell her and not Alador? Is it because he knew Alador would blab, or because Odalia runs the company? But plot holes aside, I might be repeating myself, but damn lady, I can't believe you're willing to sell out your entire species for alleged social clout. You're like Regina George all grown up. Or more like Regina if she stayed on that all-carb diet. Alador has decided he's had enough. And you go, dude.
This is too much, even for you.
Realism-wise, I did kind of like how even if Amity stood up to her more than once, especially in this episode, it didn't do anything. Is that true, really?
I am never speaking to you again.
You'll thank me when you're a literal princess.
She'll thank you when you're a dead, drained husk and she gets her inheritance. Maybe she'll buy one of those Godfather rings.
It's what's best for the family.
What's best for the family is putting an end to all this.
No, wait!
This work is finished. Also, I quit.
Good job. Seeing as how she's outnumbered, she decides to go away to parts unknown, probably Langley Falls, likely setting up a future special.
I've been meaning to find a more competent business partner anyway, and you won't be getting your severance package.
Wouldn't he anyways because he quit? I thought you only get severance if you're fired. Hopefully whoever you choose next doesn't go off into space with Sinbad. So where do we go from here? I think you all know by now that I have the worst judgment, but I hope Alador has a friend or two in the lawyer coven because he's gonna need it. I wish we got to see her reaction to finding out Bellows has no problem killing her. Maybe she was as pathetic as Terra. And that was Odalia, evil incarnate. She is worse than Bellows, and she is worse than Tibbles, and she is somebody who deserves to be roasted. Odalia, you suck. Love your voice actress, but as a person, you are the worst. I hope you get thrown out on the streets when this is all over. Anyhow, see you guys next week for my 100th video. Gonna be on a certain somebody who joined the Super Adventure Club, if you know what I mean.
Are you trying to make me look bad?